Hey guys, it's Dani from Dani the Horse Girl, and today's horse story is about Sheena's Red Dawn. So let's go.
So guys, if you're new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Ding those notification bells if you want to see more horse stories. Each and every week we are putting forward a story about our horses. So it's every horse's story, where they came from, what our future plans are with that horse, why we have that horse, what we do with that horse, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so this is Sheena's Red Dawn, also known as Dawn. So she is 20 years old and she's an Arabian Appaloosa.
So Dawn has lived here her entire life. She was born and bred, well, not bred on the farm. My sister, her horse, and she was out of my horse, my mare. Her name was Sheena, and so yeah, she was born and bred here. And Christy, why don't you tell us about Dawn and when you decided to keep her, why you decided to keep her?
Well, first, like Katie said, we brought her Sheena home pregnant at the same time that we got Arrow. So, and Arrow was a farm stallion. So she was born in '99. That makes her 20 years old. She just turned 20 a couple days ago. It was May 6th. And when she was born, she was red. She was a chestnut. She had a funky little star and a weird little blaze here, and I absolutely loved her markings. And I was like, sweet, I want that one. And then the next year she was white.
Bright white.
Yeah. Like, well,
she got a little red on her legs.
she was kind of polka dotted like Willow that first year, but then by year 2, she was white. So she usually has some variation. Sometimes her ears are more red. Sometimes her legs are really red right now.
They're very red this year.
Yeah, and then there was one year where like her knees were red and that was it. So it's kind of, you know, if you don't like your Appaloosa's coloring, you just wait 1 year because they change every year.
So tell us about when you started to train Dawn.
She was a weanling. She was the only foal that we had that year, so she didn't really have any friends. So I was working with her a lot, and we kind of bonded and had a really good relationship right at the beginning, and we just kind of stuck it out because, like I said, you know, I really liked her markings, and then after I said I wanted her, I couldn't change my mind. So yeah, so I started working with her after my old gelding died. I really started focusing on her, and she's been great. I mean, she didn't have a buck, she didn't have a kick. The only time she really gave me attitude was when she was pregnant, and I don't really blame her because that's really uncomfortable. So, but yeah, we had a lot of fun. She's too old to breed anymore. She did give me a really nice filly.
Yep, so Dawn is Rain. So if you check out the video about Rain being born, which will be up here in the iCard, Dawn is Rain's grandmother. So Dawn is Dancer's mom.
Yep.
So what is your favorite thing about Dawn, Dani?
My favorite thing about Dawn is how she just like turned white. That's another thing I like about Appaloosas too, is how they just change colors like that randomly. So I like her coloring, and I like her mane a lot too. It's like very unique, and I like her legs, and I love her. She's a great horse.
My favorite thing about Dawn is not much bothers her. Like, she can be a little like, okay, so here's the story. Like, Christy's horses don't typically like me, and my horses don't typically like Christy. We're sisters, so you know, there's that kind of that thing.
And my horses love everyone.
Yeah, that's true. So, Dawn and I, my favorite story with Dawn, so I'm 13 years old. I'm Dani's age, right? And this is the first time ever that I am trimming horses with the farrier by myself. And my dad tells me, oh, that yearling of your sister's needs to get done. And I'm like, okay. So I go and catch her, and she rears so high that she almost put her head through a light bulb. Like, me and the farrier literally talk about this like at least once a year. It was so funny. It was like the funniest thing. she's been fine ever since that first year. She's a really good horse. Like I said, she's just kind of a steady. She's like the grandma of the herd now, so she really holds a special place in my heart for that. What's your favorite thing about Dawn?
I love her personality. Like I said, we've got a really good bond. She gets mad if I take any other horse out.
Yeah.
She does not like sharing my attention. Whenever I'm in the pasture, she may not want to come up to me because she's afraid I got a halter. But this ear is always pointed to wherever I am in the pasture, which I always found really cool.
I have a good story with Dawn. I remember we were out on an early spring trail ride, and we were coming back across the field on the opposite side of the house, and Christy was like, I'm just gonna ride bareback today.
Oh, yeah.
Like the only time this horse has ever dumped Christy off. So Christy's riding
Literally the only
bareback,
time.
and a partridge flies up and like hits her in the butt. And the horse goes one way, and Christy just stayed in the same spot and landed on the ground. It was so funny. We were laughing, and Christy was laughing, and Dawn just like stopped and looked back at Christy like, oh my God, I'm so
I finally did it.
Yeah, I finally did it.
Yeah, no kidding. She's not a big fan of partridge. If partridge fly up anywhere, even if she hears them, she's gone.
Yeah.
And this one time I was riding bareback, and we happened to walk right along where the cows were pastured, and those little cows melted out of the pines, and she lost her mind. She spun in circles. I stayed on that time. She spun in circles and freaked and panicked. Oh, it was hilarious. She's a really steady horse. She's a great trail horse. She spooks big. That's the Arabian in her. She's a quarter Arabian. She spooks big, but then she's like, that wasn't me, just kidding.
Yeah.
And then she'll just go right down the trail. She'll go over anything you need her to go over. She'll go through whatever. Like our favorite thing was just to go off the trail and just go through the woods.
You get a bug in your eye.
So yeah, she's just always been.
Yeah, she likes to go out alone too.
She does.
She's pretty unique.
Yeah, she's really good at going alone. She's always been comfortable, just the two of us, and she's been a really good horse. I'm hoping that Rain is going to be just as good as she is. Well, currently we are just kind of hanging out and riding. She's a little stiff. She's got kind of an issue with her stifles, but with exercise, she usually does pretty good. And we're just going to do some trail rides this year. We're going to just kind of hang out and be together and let her enjoy her last years. And I want to get some more time and some more memories with her. So that's pretty much where we're at this year.
So future plans, Dawn will live here till the day she dies. She's again one of our heart horses. I feel like we say that every single time.
But
I'm pretty sure we have. But our horses are really special to us, and you know, they hold a special place in our hearts, and they're more like our family and our friends versus, you know, just another horse in the yard. We're getting eaten alive by mosquitoes.
I've killed at least 10 of them.
Oh my God, they've hatched.
So guys, those are my horse stories for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram at _DMaria. Next week's horse story is about Dawn's Rain Dancer. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Are we good? There's bugs everywhere. I'm gonna put tarps. I'm gonna put those like windy men that go like this. I'm gonna put that in there, and then I'm gonna put like one of those monkeys that hit those cymbal monkeys. I'm gonna put one of those in there too. Then she can go out to pasture.